I mean, if you need another cup of coffee.
I don't think a brother cup of coffee would do anything other than give me anxiety. I think I'm at that point where it's like I'm as up as I'm going to get from coffee. Any more coffee is just going to give me anxiety and I'll feel like I need to run down the street or something. But we all know that's not fucking happening.
No. We're barely at the weather right now where you could run down the street and not be afraid of dying.
Barely. It's a little warm. Just a little bit on the warm side for that.
It's always
So, yeah.
in a concrete swamp.
Concrete. The skater's about to come back. Oh, man, the skaters. About to get the skaters, Chris.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, I was imagining young boys in Vans and curly t-shirts swarming the streets. I was wondering why that was a problem and how that had ever changed.
Oh.
What you were saying was mosquitoes.
Yeah, the mosquitoes. Not the skaters.
No, yeah. You realized that was the same thing that you just said.
Oh, no, I said skeeters.
Yeah, I understood after a second.
Yeah, those mosquitoes, they going to be back in full force here real soon. It's warming up.
Yeah.
Oh, joy.
Unless we start fooling around with genetics more.
That's just what we need to do. Become mosquito-resistant humans.
No.
Oh.
What they're doing is they put an enzyme. They're breeding an enzyme into mosquitoes that once they reach full maturity, it expands in their blood and explodes them.
Well, how about that? They're an enzyme, and they're breeding this into mosquitoes?
Yeah.
How is this not going to affect humans? Like, mosquitoes usually, like, pass on a lot of kill you stuff to humans. I mean, that's how we get bird flu.
Well, because by the time they're mature enough to bite, they leave the nest. You know, they leave the larvae nest, and then they explode.
So they don't get time to bite you.
Yeah. Trying to eradicate malaria from the other side.
That's crazy. They're just going to terminate themselves.
Yeah.
Wow.
Fuck mosquitoes.
Fuck mosquitoes. Let's just go ahead and commit genocide of mosquitoes.
I mean, what do mosquitoes do?
Pollinate.
Mosquitoes don't pollinate.
I think everything's a pollinator in some way or another.
No. Mosquitoes are useless.
They're useless. As useless as wasps.
No, wasps are evil. Wasps are part of the dark dimension where Dormammu resides.
Oh, so they're necessary evil.
But mosquitoes are completely useless.
Just completely
All they do
useless.
is spread disease.
Oh, so they're like a plague against humanity.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's us or them.
Well,
And I mean, we could make the argument that spiders eat them, but I've talked to the spiders, and they're like, we got other things.
We got other things we can eat.
It's fine.
Other things that are more beneficial to you.
Yeah. Yeah, flies are much more necessary.
What if flies do?
Spider food.
As spider food?
Yeah.
Yeah, at least they don't... Flies do spread disease. What's the difference? They don't bite you.
Exactly.
Oh, okay. Slightly less annoying.
Except for horse flies.
Those things.
Yeah, fuck those things.
Man, those big scary... Is
that a bee? No, it's a fucking horsefly.
Well, you'd be better off if it was a bee, because the bee would probably leave you alone. That horsefly, it's not going to leave you alone. No. The bee would.
What is a horsefly's problem? Why do they fuck with you?
I don't know much about horseflies or fly genealogy in general. I mean, I think the most I know about flies is what Jeff Goldblum told me in that movie.
Yeah.
And I don't think I got anything from that movie other than don't breed yourself with a fly through genetics.
It wasn't genetics, it was a teleporter.
Oh, don't teleport with a fly in the teleporter.
Yeah.
That's important. You'll turn into a disgusting monster.
A disgusting vomit creature.
Yeah. But
Which is what a fly is anyway.
You'll have Jeff Goldblum intellect, though, right?
Doesn't he end up losing it at a... Like, he goes full fly.
I don't remember the damn movie.
By the end of that movie.
That's crazy. Teleporters just completely ignored human. Make giant fly. Bam. It is.
What?
It's just frozen.
Oh,
Oh, man. We need to clean this thing out. Sorry.
We're talking too much for the computer to handle. It's about to explode.
Right? It says we get enough space for
But
an hour
before
and a half.
it does, welcome to Between the Profound and the Profane, the only show that I know of where three suburban assholes tell the story of lighting themselves on fire behind gas stations.
It's the only one I know of as well. That's all I can say about that. I don't know too many other places you can go to find those stories.
Today there's only two of us. Ian had to call out due to inclement weather.
Good old weather. Gotta love living so close to the coast.
It's monsoon season.
It is monsoon season. We're fast approaching hurrah season.
We almost had a tornado downtown the other day.
Ooh.
Which is not something that happens here.
It's
I mean, tornadoes happen here sometimes.
It's something that's been increasingly happening here.
What, flash tornadoes?
Uh-huh. Yeah. It's okay. Climate change isn't real.
Sudden funneling.
The clouds are just very mad because we're too damn liberal. America's getting pissed off at all the liberal and freedom that we're trying to express. No freedom for you.
Nah, I just think that the swamp wants the swamp back.
It's just going to knock down all the buildings and just be like, I'm a swamp.
Yeah.
Might as well bring the swamp back. I mean, swamp monsters got to go somewhere.
But you know, you Stonians, we ain't going to move. We're just going to keep living in the swamp. We'll become Venice. We'll just start traveling around in boats and...
I can
build this city up on walkways.
We'll start building the city up. We'll build more. We'll dig more holes for the water to drain down.
Yeah,
we already have a lot of holes for the water to drain. That's part of the problem.
No, part of the problem. The problem is that we is suburban expansion
with poor urban sewage management.
Yeah,
and the entire city of Houston is a floodplain. There's that.
But it's not a floodplain, they told us, I remember.
They lied. They lied so hard. When your city is like 10 feet above sea level, you're a floodplain.
Are we actually above sea level? I thought we were...
Yeah, I mean, up here, definitely.
Well,
but,
on this side, yeah.
But Houston itself, I think, is in the 30s, 40s. It's in the double digit above sea level, I think. I don't freaking remember exactly, but it's not good. It's not a lot. No, it's not under sea level. It's not New Orleans. But it's under swamp level. And the swamp comes from the ground up.
Yeah. We don't flood from the rain
top down
filling up. The swamp comes from underneath the concrete. It's like, don't forget that I'm here still.
Yep. You can't get rid of me. I'm here forever. And I'll just come up from the ground and just be like, you thought I was solid? No, quicksand. And because we do have quicksand in Houston if you go to the wrong place. There are quicksand pits in Houston. I've seen them.
I don't know about all that.
I've seen them. You haven't seen like those sand pits that have a buggy sticking halfway out of it? Like, how did they get a buggy that far into the ground? Well, that's because it's quicksand. You jump on the buggy. It's not very deep. I mean, the buggy bottoms out, but yeah.
Okay, so when you say there's quicksand in Houston, I'm imagining that you're down on, like...
By the bayou.
Travis in Maine. And there's just, like, a go-kart sticking halfway out of a patch of sand in the sidewalk.
Over there by Buffalo Bayou. It's just halfway sticking out. Like, there's a skeleton, some kid. It's art. It's an art exhibit now.
Well, yeah, that's Houston for you.
That's Houston for you. We'll turn anything into an art exhibit. I mean, there's a button under a bridge that will make the bayou blow a bubble. That's an art exhibit in Houston.
The most Houston thing I've ever seen. Alex and I, the girlfriend, were down in Houston doing some bullshit, and we were passing by one of those weird modern art installations that's just giant pieces of colored metal wrapped around each other in front of a building.
Mm-hmm.
So while we're passing by, a Segway tour of Asian tourists is coming by, taking pictures of it.
Uh-huh.
Standing in front of it is a businessman on his Bluetooth doing business guy stuff, and a homeless guy carrying a briefcase.
Okay. This is crazy.
That's
that is
Houston.
so Houston. That is so Houston, man. Oh, my goodness.
Houston, been weird, done that.
Been weird, done that, right? Get on our level, Austin.
Keep Houston ghetto.
Keep Houston ghetto. Oh, they're so ghetto. Houston is so ghetto. It's part of the charm of Houston, though.
Part of the charm is it's a dirty, grimy, grunge city filled with all kinds of radical leftists, punks, anarchists, and, like, top-level management.
The graffiti around Houston is actually really good, though.
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever stopped to look at it and, like, been like, oh, those damn... And it's like, wait, this is cool. These people know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
It's like they're artists or something. Man. Who'd have thunk it?
We're a good art city.
We are pretty big on our arts. Our museum district is good. I haven't been there in a long time. Need to check that out sometime. Road trip someday, maybe. I don't know. They have free days at the museum, right?
They do have free days at museums.
It's like Thursdays. Some shit like that. I got an idea.
Yeah.
Plotting.
Museuming.
We got to get our brain up and shit in a museum. That's where people go to get smart, right?
I always just end up laughing at modern art.
I don't want to look at modern art. I want to look at science.
I love looking at modern art because I'm like, I don't get it.
I want science art.
This is a ball.
This is a ball.
This is a sphere.
This is a picture that was taken in the middle of the night with no flash. It is literally just darkness. I don't care if it's actually a orgy. It's just a dark picture. You can't see nothing. I was like, I don't want to see anything in that situation, but like that's the kind of stories you get with those pictures. It's like, oh, this is just a piece of black paper. Oh no, this was an orgy. What? Yes, the art. It is so art. I don't get it. I mean, I get it, but I don't get it.
So this is where we would have usually already done the segment where Ian accidentally derails the entire thing by telling us about some crazy alien thing.
Or some adventure he'd gone on that turned into a crazy alien thing.
He calls them adventures, but they're mostly just reading files on the internet, it sounds like.
Or watching videos on YouTube about crazy alien stuff and superhuman things.
Yeah.
I didn't see anything spectacular, did you? I'm not the research for crazy things.
No, I'm not that guy. I've been doing a lot of like, I was so depressed last week that I interrupted the show with it.
Right.
And then we caught ourselves and actually had a pretty decent episode. But somehow with that depression comes like, oh yeah, I forgot that I'm supposed to be doing like readings on magics with a K again. But I'm depressed, so I have time to. So that's what I've been up to, is like looking at old grimoires. You slapped a book of angels out of my hand yesterday because I started reading incantations out loud.
This probably was the best thing.
Yeah, I mean friends don't let friends invoke angels for no reason.
Not in the stude.
Not in the studio.
You're too close to the stude, man. Way too close to the studio. Angels don't understand technology.
Don't conjure where you cast, yo.
And I'm pretty sure they wouldn't understand technology. I mean, it's like, what is this? And it's like, we need to do an interview. And they'd be like, smite. And that's all we get. And now we're smited.
I mean, I don't think you interview, you don't interview...
Extra dimensional beings?
Yeah, extra dimensional beings.
Sure you do. Did you learn nothing from Crowley?
I learned that boys have tight asses from Crowley.
Oh. Okay.
If you don't understand out there, Crowley was a notorious rapist. That's the word for it.
Oh, I thought you were going to say boy lover.
Oh, well, yeah. He would stick his dick in anything. He was Crowley. And he was sex magics, and sex magics means...
Don't have sex with demons, guys.
No, he would just have sex with everybody, because it's the act of consummation, like coming is a way to get into the liminal space that allows magic to happen. And as he got
I don't think I could
more and
magic
more,
as I come.
as
That
he
would
got
be
more and more into depravity, it became more and more of like a coercing women in his order to have sex with him, just taking young boys down and doing things to them.
fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't go full Crowley.
Crowley's not a good dude.
He's not a good guy. I mean, like, he danced in the desert with demons. You can never trust a guy that dances in the desert with demons.
Took a lot of heroin.
Heroin.
Don't do heroin, magic kids.
Don't do heroin. Never touched it. I don't even know what it smells like. Okay, then.
But yeah, my depression's been fucking acting up.
I feel you. I've been in the same boat. I've been watching a bunch of cartoons from our childhood. And Maniacs. Anime that I missed that was cool when we were kids.
Like what?
Like Hunter x Hunter. That was like, it used to be on Cartoon Network, and I missed all that because I never saw what was good about it, because it takes forever to get good. And it's like, oh, it gets good after forever of like, why is this happening? They changed the name of a lot of the stuff we're already familiar with the usual magical Japanese boy anime.
Yeah.
Because it's always magical Japanese anime that they blow shit up with their
So is that one of your tools?
powers.
Like, you wrap yourself in nostalgia for comfort when you're depressed?
I don't know, there's nostalgia, simpler things maybe. I like cartoons. I've always liked cartoons. Stuff to keep my mind off of anything.
Yeah.
I like distractions.
I mean,
That's a good distraction for me. Is something that can bring back, like, hey, that's cool. I don't get a lot of the hey, that's cool anymore. So it's cool. Nostalgia helps with that, yeah.
and I think it could be a lot better than, like, indulging in escapism.
Yeah.
Like, better for you.
Well, it's a different form of escapism.
It is a different form of escapism, but, like, my preferred escapism when I'm, depending on the level of my depression, is I'm not coming out of Skyrim for another 3 months, or I'm going to play Final Fantasy IX until I cry.
I haven't turned Skyrim on for that reason.
Yeah.
I think like, I got this weird point with Skyrim where I've almost beat it, and it's like, do I want to beat it? I don't know if I really want to finish the main storyline or what to do with it. I don't know if there's anything else to do with it.
Yeah.
Is the thing I've already done, I guess, everything.
I feel like you got your fill.
It's got to the point
now.
where everything is just repetitive.
Yeah.
I've done everything to do. I can't think of actually anything else in that game that I haven't done with that one character even.
Yeah.
Other than join the other guilds, but that's doing the same
You kind of want to save
thing.
If you built a new character, you would want to save those things for a new character.
I kind of wish that I could turn all NPCs to non-essential, actually, and be the only living being in Skyrim, because my Dragonborn is... He commits the ultimate genocide.
He's decided...
Anything that's not Dragonborn deserves to die.
He's decided...
Because everyone is shit in Skyrim.
Skyrim has sinned too much.
Skyrim has sinned way too much. Everyone is shit. They're either racist or... like anti-religious bigots or way too religious bigots. Like, there's no, I don't know. Where's the atheist in Skyrim? I want the cool atheist guys.
And all your guy wants to do is go pick flowers and make cool
some
armor.
Potions. Have the coolest armor.
Enchant some stuff, and like they just won't let it happen.
They won't let it happen. The dragons wanted to come and eat me. All the Daedric princes started talking in his head and drove him crazy. It's not a good thing.
Time.
It's not a good time for this guy. I'm dealing with my own issues, so this guy's obviously dealing with them too.
I mean, escapism can be bad because you get too deep into it, especially when you're depressed, and you end up never coming out, and you lose yourself. But it can be good in the fact that you have an ability, especially if your mind is just a little twisted in a fun way, to like work your issues out through...
slaying dragons?
Play. Yeah.
Through slaying dragons. Roleplay. I haven't done that in a while. I'm thinking about getting back into that, but that's a
different form of roleplay that you're talking about.
I do roleplay different. It's more pen and paper roleplay. Oh yeah.
I'd like to do a different type of pen and paper roleplay.
Like,
I don't know, like what.
Oh.
I have no ideas. Because if Vampire the Masquerade was about to come out of your mouth, maybe, but no.
I don't think so.
Or Call of Cthulhu. I don't even know where to start with something like that.
Shadowrun? Would you do
I don't know how
Shadowrun?
Shadowrun really works. I don't know
I
its
don't either.
system.
I don't either.
I don't know if it runs on a D20 or if it runs on...
You're classic. You're just a 3.5 mostly, right?
That's all I've ever
D&D.
really played.
I mean, I understand some of them. I've just never played a campaign.
It's once you know the basics of one system, you know the basics of that system, and if that's why I D20 system. That's what I know. 3.5 runs on D20 base, which means everything is divisible by the 20. Like in the end, it's a 20. That's what it's centered around. I've played games that run around a D6. I don't like those games very much, or I didn't like the game that I played, which could be any number of problems. It could be not the system. We ran on a D10 system. I did not like that system. It was too intricate because it runs all on percentiles. A D10 is a percentile roll, and when everything runs on a percentile, it makes the game really confusing.
It can, because it leaves a lot of discretion to the Dungeon Master, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Like we were playing a superhero game, and I was playing a black separatist anarchist who was a speedster.
Nice.
And the way that the percentiles work is if I hit somebody in super speed, I roll percentiles and do multipliers on my damage. So you roll a percentile for your damage, you roll a percentile for how fast you're moving, and then you multiply together. So I was caving people's faces in by mock punching them, basically.
Mock punch. Yeah, mock punches are pretty, cave punch, like, cave your face in.
Yeah.
They'll do that.
So it was a bit of a
OP
overpower game.
Well, I mean, speedsters are a little overpowered in any setting. When you apply any real world, like, can these people kill people aspect to speedsters? Yeah, speedsters are incredibly deadly.
Yeah, that's the problem with a completely different... That was the system plus a slightly inexperienced DM plus... that was a whole bunch of stuff.
Right.
Superpowers. Escapism can very much help your depression in the sense of, like, you can work things out in roleplay. I have found that being able to compartmentalize the pieces of my insane personality into characters and working out my problems has helped me find my strengths within those issues.
I like playing as a psychic fish that can blow shit up with his mind. That's my usual roleplay character. That's been my roleplay character for over 10 years.
You're talking about. See, when I'm talking about, like, compartmentalizing, like, I had a character, my first character ever. They handed me a character sheet and said you were playing a space marine who is just unfrozen after 75 years. Go.
That's funny. That's great.
So I immediately came out as, like, a dickhead jarhead. And that game got canceled very, very quickly. My other characters have ranged from a lively, charismatic court jester who accidentally led the party.
Accidentally led the party.
Yeah, they made him the face of the party, and he didn't really want the responsibility or understand that he had that responsibility. He just was there. And at some point, once you've been handed the ability and the need, and you're the only one who can save the world, and you're kind of a court jester, your temperament becomes, look, we're the only ones who can fucking do this. Let's do this. Let's go.
Too much charisma.
Too much charisma.
Not enough. Anything else.
Yeah, not enough. Yeah, not enough.
Anything else.
No wisdom.
No wisdom. No intelligence. No strength.
He was moderately intelligent. He was intelligent enough to use charisma to get shit done.
But he wasn't wise enough to know that you shouldn't use that charisma to go kill a dragon.
No, he never wanted to kill dragons. He was not he did not like combat. He wanted to be left alone. That was his whole thing. His whole goal throughout throughout was like his starting goal was to this was Pocket, by the way, was to usurp his Baron, who had saved his life at one point because his Baron had lost his mind, and marry the Baron's daughter and take over the land that he had been staying on for a while.
After that person saved his life.
Yeah.
All right. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Because,
so,
yeah.
you know.
So.
But he got swept up into this, like, great royal war between...
his barons.
No. He
completely got away.
Yeah. He left there and got swept up into this whole, like, prophetic royal war between... like Mother Nature was involved, like the embodiment and personification of Mother Nature was trying to and wanting to take land back from human.
Naturally,
you know how it goes.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
He eventually forgot to return the heart to Mother Nature, though. That's where the low part of the goal was, to find the heart of Mother Nature, take it back from crazy cultists who were going to let her usurp the world, return it to her, and use that to not let the world be burned. But he forgot to bring it back.
Oops.
But Mother Nature was cool with it because he took care of other things. She just came back 200 years later. And that's when my second character comes in. A cowardly, stuttering farm boy whose entire village died in a zombie attack.
Because Mother Nature's pissed about her heart. It's like, I was cool for 200 years, but it's been 200 years, guys. I need that.
What did that idiot do with my heart?
I need that. Fuck that idiot.
Or it might have only been 50 or 80 years. I forget the timeline.
Either way, Pocket is dead.
No.
Oh, Pocket's not dead?
No,
He just don't give it. He's missing.
No, yeah, he's on vacation. He's on holiday.
He's old. Old people take holidays all the time. They go golfing.
He's not only
in
old,
Florida.
he became a politician. He ends up, because in every D&D campaign that I've ever played, and I've heard other things, eventually your DM has to give you things for having played for so long. So you end up with, like, a lot of land. And we made a multicultural utopia because that was Pocket's new goal. So, like, we just started inviting everybody to our land, and we had a giant keep. And so eventually, he became king of this land, even though he wasn't really a king. There's only one king. There's, like, barons, and a king is a title. So he was a baron, but he called himself king.
It sounds like he's asking for trouble. Kings usually don't like other people saying they're a king.
Nah, he was the full king. He was the fool who became king.
I see.
He had the highest title of any court jester.
I guess he's legendary. I mean, he had Mother Nature's heart. You can just leave him alone.
Yeah. So he left his.
Did he ever marry that Baron's daughter?
No.
Oh man, how unfortunate for him.
No. They all died.
They all died.
In a
Oh man.
It was bad.
Man.
So he moved.
Everybody
on.
Dies.
Yeah.
At least he moved on. Made good of himself. Got some land. Did get a new hat.
Became a hero.
Accidentally.
Hero.
Accidentally became a legendary hero along the way, and owns property and dances on tables.
Has to do politics. We always said that we called it VC's Fornicor, which it means fate fucker.
Fate fucker.
Yeah, he named it Fate Fucker. He named his land the land of Fate Fucker, Castle Fate Fucker.
That's great.
And every day is you remember the topsy-turvy scene from Hunchback of Notre Dame?
Kind of.
It was Fool's Day. Mm-hmm. They did the Fool's Day festival in the beginning of Hunchback.
Yeah.
Every day is Fool's Day festival in Pocket's keep.
Sounds like a silly place.
It's a very silly place. You do not wish to go there.
I wish to go there at all. It is a silly place. It's like a very silly place indeed.
But yeah, I mean, that guy playing Pocket got out a lot of and I got to kind of understand my need to be a center of attention, my alcoholism and drug problems. Like, I understood why I did those things because I could be that through Pocket.
That's cool. It's good to get help.
And then later, I developed my like hero complex bullshit with Dward.
The stuttering farm boy.
Yeah, his name was Edward Jackson.
Edward Jackson.
Yeah.
Okay.
He was I was troubled because Pocket had become this like face of the party. I have to step out and talk to people. I have to be this perfectly held together human being. Not perfectly held together, but just like he had to be a hero. I decided to make somebody who was the exact opposite of that. Somebody who was bad at speaking. Somebody who was shy. Somebody who didn't want to be a hero, but he's the farm boy who was who found himself there, and he ends up dying actually within that story.
Oh, sucks for him.
Yeah,
unfortunately. Yep. Does he take a like arrow in the heart?
No, like some hell creature ripped his throat out.
Man.
But he died protecting his friends, which is exactly how that cowardly character needed to go out.
Yeah, I see that. Still sucks.
Yeah,
in his own way.
But
I don't want their throat ripped out.
Within that, you develop this. I developed this. That character was my cowardice, my shyness, my inability to like do things that I really need to do, and he was allowed to die a hero, which is a great round off for that compartmentalization.
Right. Fucking A.
I mean, maybe we should start doing like monthly, not recorded, just D&D games, like Us 3 or something like that.
Something. Do a campaign together. I've never done it, so I don't know. I need someone's experience, because I've never been in a group like that. Been interested in it and read about it. I've known, like, almost everyone I've known has done it.
Has tried.
A little more than tried.
Yeah.
Most people usually have a campaign they go to. And it's just like, alright, cool. Later.
It's difficult to bring new people in with a group of people who have been playing together for a while.
Oh, I can imagine.
It's also difficult to like actually commit to doing it.
That is a very hard commitment to make. It's like, we're going to do this once a week. For sure. And then every week you need to have a story, though. And have your character ready and update your stats, right? Because you need to update your stats after the campaign. If you're not doing it during. Doing it during is kind of shitty. Yeah. Don't want to.
Usually, you're not going to level up until after a session is over.
Right.
I mean, I guess at some points we've leveled up in the middle of a session
because you needed to.
But usually, it just because experience said so.
Oh yeah.
But usually, like my DMs have never. They hand out experience at the end of the session.
You get this, that kind of stuff. I understand that. I definitely understand that.
Which I've also had DMs who were like, I'm not really sure how experience works. Here's a handful of experience!
There's that.
Or you guys level up now. Go.
Just level up.
Just level up.
Fuck it. You get a level.
Yeah, it's been 6 sessions since you guys have leveled. Just level.
Just level.
Fuck it. Just level.
Fuck it. You get a whole level.
Yeah.
Okay. Good old DMing.
I've also had DMs who would like hand out stones of experience. Like you remember the like counters from like Pokemon or Magic or Yu-Gi-Oh. Like they handed those out as like, oh, you did a cool thing, you in character. Here's a role play experience. Keep role playing, you get extra experience.
We would do things like that on the Mud. That's how we would do it on the Mud. Is you had you had combat experience and you would have role play experience. They would divvy up the experience. Combined, they would make your level. But they unlock different abilities. Like, you couldn't get combat abilities if you were a bard.
Yeah.
That did nothing but run around and barded up everything. You couldn't just become a level 50 bard that could destroy everything. You have no combat experience. So you couldn't use that experience points to learn a new ability, like insta-kill. It worked like that. It was a kind of complex roleplay system that they have based on you have to roleplay, and you would spend that experience on, say, a new technique because it was Dragon Ball Z, so it was very combat heavy. But you can have we did have medics. We did have people we had pacifist. I've played a pacifist in a Dragon Ball Z game before. That's not easy to pull in a Dragon Ball Z role play.
It's not easy to pull pacifism in any role-playing game.
Oh, yeah.
Especially because, like, A, you're getting into combat all the time.
Oh, that character died fast.
The normal RPers idea seems to be kill shit, get stuff, gain experience, kill shit, get stuff.
God modding. Yeah. God modding is such a problem in that community. It's not even funny.
In the MUD community?
Yeah, especially the Dragon Ball Z MUD community.
What are MUDs for people who don't understand?
MUDs are the definition of multi-user dungeon. It's they program Dungeons and Dragons basically on a client, and you get just text. It turns your dungeon master becomes the computer. Mm-hmm. Everything's already laid out. The worlds are laid out. The stories are laid out. You're the character, and everything's automated. But you can also role play because there's other characters. It's like an MMO.
It's a text-based RPG with other users.
Yeah, like an MMO, but it's text-based. So you have to read and input everything. So it is very role play heavy, actually. Yeah, if you want to play it that way, you stay in character. So that's been fun. It is Dungeons and Dragons, but the one I play has a Dragon Ball skin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I really like that idea also, like taking the Dungeons and Dragons specs and just reskinning it.
It gives you consistency where you don't have it with Dungeon Masters, but that's made for min-maxers. That is so made for min-maxers that it's not even funny, because if you don't do your stats right, your characters are going to die. Yeah. So often that you're not going to last long. That's where the Dragon Ball Z skin comes from, because you can just come back to life. Because otherwise you would just die. There's hardcore players.
Yeah.
Your role-play characters usually, though, if you're role-playing, that character dies, you're dead. It takes a lot. You can role-play in the afterlife as that character if you want, or you can decide that they're dead. They go deep on their role-play, man. They have roles that make no sense to me. I had to step out of their role play when they got into these other roles, because it's just like, I don't know what you guys are doing, but you're like trying to turn role play into a reward system, and it's fun, and you get special gear, but the reward system for the role playing is for player killing gear. So as a player killer, I want that gear, but I don't want to roleplay for it because it takes a lot of time, and that's a large commitment. So once they got that reward system, it gets really complicated just for role-playing.
The thing I like about pen and paper is that story, and with a good DM and a story-based group, story and DM, or story and stats are going to be story and role play, and it's all integrated. It's all one thing.
Yeah.
So you're not getting experience for role play unless somebody's giving you experience for role play, and it's not like your experience points are used for anything. It's just used to give you the level. Your level is then used to you get a list of things you can buy.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But they record their points, or you record the entire role play, and then they have DMs, administrators, role play. The guy that's like the boss of the role play.
Yeah,
we call them administrator, immortals, or whatever. They will distribute the points to their own discretion, depending on the quality of the role play and all that crap. And then once you get a certain amount, you can spend it on leveling and getting skills like learning Kamehameha. You can't learn Kamehameha, though.
How else do you deal with your depression?
Other than video games, escaping, like talking, and I don't. other than just like
At least there's honesty.
Yeah, like dealing with it. Like I just have to live with it. There's a lot of just living with it.
That's one of the things. I mean, that's one of those things you learn, even in therapy, is like you're not going to.
Not every day is going to be a good day.
Yeah, you have to just kind of live with it.
Yeah, you just have to kind of live with it. Sometimes things just suck. I guess it's just a matter of what you do with it. For me, it's always just been. I'm pretty laid back, so I'm usually open to try something, even if I don't know. I don't really have any intentions on doing anything. It's just something different.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll like it. Maybe it'll help. I don't know. But dealing with it, I don't deal with it very well.
I don't think a doctor would say that I deal with it healthily.
I don't think a doctor would say that at all. No. I don't know. I stay away from those guys. 'Cause I know my depression better than they do. I've lived with it.
Yeah.
It's mine.
No, I'm definitely not an anti-doctor.
I'm not anti-doctor. I just don't see them or want... I don't know. I don't want to get medicated. I don't know. I've seen too many bad effects from that.
I would never suggest that for somebody else, though.
I wouldn't recommend it. No.
Yeah, going unmedicated is a poor decision.
Yeah, it's a personal choice.
It is a personal choice.
It's not actually completely a personal choice. I can't afford it.
Yeah, there's also that.
I know for a fact that I don't have Medicaid. I can't consistently afford medication. If I get on one of those medications, you have to stay on them forever. If I cannot continue to take that medication, I'm going to end up killing myself.
Yeah, no, that's
and I don't want to
true.
exasperate something like that due to trying to get help. I don't want my help to make me worse.
Yeah, there's no reason to. Yeah.
So that's been a big part of why I haven't sought help, because I don't want my help to turn on me.
The second you lose the help.
It'll be worse.
I mean, I advocate heavily for, at least trying medication if you can afford it. Finding a psychiatrist, and because I have tried multiple medications. I'm not going to list them here. I've tried multiple medications over the past decade and a half, however long it's been, and just I feel like I don't react to it well. I feel unmedical. Like I just have a medication-resistant form of bipolar disorder, and you just kind of live with it.
Right.
But I would never advocate not trying medication. And I definitely advocate finding a fucking therapist if you can afford that too.
Right.
Because I think therapy is better for what we're dealing with than medication. But that's a personal thought.
I'm not sure. I've not tried the medication.
Yeah.
I was only given really one opportunity, and it wasn't a good chance. It wasn't a good time for me to take that opportunity. It would have complicated things.
Yeah, more than they were already complicated.
Yeah, much more. So, and then I'd be in the situation actually now to where I wouldn't have any of the medication.
Yeah.
Now, and I would be suffering from
worse symptoms
now, which is bad because my depression's for some reason worse than it has been lately. So it comes and goes.
Oh, there's also like life mitigating things going on for you.
A lot of things.
Yeah.
So we'll get there.
Yeah. Nah.
We'll get there.
We've been through worse at this point, I think.
I don't know. Maybe.
You don't know?
I don't know. Maybe.
I always feel like I've been through worse at this point.
It can always be worse.
I never say it can always be worse. I say that I've made it through worse than what I'm dealing with right this second.
Right? I'm not coughing up blood anymore.
Yeah.
That was sucky.
There you go.
Yeah, that was a pretty shitty time. Coughing up blood. Foot broken, coughing up blood. That was a terrible time. I was just a miserable, sad sack.
Why are both of those things happening at the same time?
I don't know why they happened at the same time, but they did. My foot was broken, and I was coughing up blood. Different reasons, but yeah. No, wasn't fun. It was just misery. Breathing hurt. Laying down hurt. I could only sleep in a chair because laying down hurt. Oh, yeah.
Bro, you need to see a doctor.
Oh, that was like a few years ago. I saw a doctor for that.
Good.
Yeah, no, they never found out what it was. Because doctors don't know everything either.
Nope.
They don't.
Well, son, I'm plumb out of ideas.
If you tried not having a lump on your lung, well, doctor, I thought, I don't know. I have bronchitis. Breathing sucks already.
I thought maybe you could tell me how to not have a lump on my lung.
Maybe, I don't know. Oh, you want to cut me open? No, I'm sorry. I think I'm good. I'm not coughing up blood anymore. Thanks, bye. You want to cut open my body and like look at the lump on my lung? That does not sound pleasant. I am done here. I will die now. Thank you. Bye. Not a guinea pig. None of this sounds fun. How are you going to do this? I don't want to know. You're going to like put a hole in me.
Who's going to pay for it?
That too. 'Cause I ain't got it.
I ain't got $1 million for you to fucking
like,
die.
start cutting me open. Shit. Think I'm alright. Biopsies are scary. Especially when there's something on your lung.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, how do you get through that? That's pretty well protected. That's what rib cages are for. To protect those things. I don't want you to look at it.
There'd be a lot of recovery time.
There'd be a lot of downtime. I couldn't afford the downtime. Oh, yeah.
We're just all going to be medical refugees in Canada, huh?
Medical, among others. Medical, political. Sociological refugees.
Leave it to us to start a podcast where we try to be open about our like thoughts, theories, and feelings as soon as the jackboots like really start hammering down on us.
How about that?
Just our good planning and excellent luck.
We always have had the best timing, haven't we? Always. Best timing ever. Josh and Chris. These guys. We don't call you at the worst time ever. Show up uninvited at the worst times ever. Anymore.
We don't muck about with time.
We don't mess with time. Time is an idea. And we don't like it.
I think it's more that I don't understand it.
I don't think time understands itself, Chris. I think that's part of why we don't like time. It's a made-up construct that doesn't understand itself.
I was just thinking more that I don't feel it all the time in the correct way. I don't perceive it the way that we're supposed to.
Right. Deja vu is a mean thing.
No, I just feel myself outside of time sometimes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about deja vu, because I get fucking wicked deja vu still. Oh, that's weird. That's his topic for Ian. We need Ian. What do you think of deja vu, Ian? I want to know. Like, are these time loops? Like, I can only imagine what kind of...
I'm never exactly sure what anybody means by deja vu. I know what deja vu is supposed to mean. Yeah, you know what it's supposed to mean. The book definition.
Right.
But when people use deja vu, I'm never sure how they're using it.
Because sometimes it can be a feeling.
Uh-huh.
Sometimes it can be something that I've seen. I know for me, I've relived entire days. It feels like conversations. I've been able to tell people, like, you're going to say this. This person's going to walk out of this room. They walk out of the room. They're going to say something about this. And, like, been 100% right before. And it's kind of creepy. I can't prove it, unfortunately.
Well, anytime I've ever had deja vu, it's always been, and I can recognize this. I've seen this in a dream, but it's segments. Like, for instance, e.g. example, this moment right now, if this was a deja vu moment for me, I would flash back to, like, dreamy haze, third-person perspective, and I would not be able to tell you what was about to happen, but I would, like, watch it happen, like, laid over each other. But I know it was a dream. It's not like it happened before in real life. It's like, I saw this in a dream once, and a thing's going to happen soon. Oh, Ian calls. Oh, look, he's here now. Haha. Fucking surprise, Ian. I should have known that was going to happen because I saw this in a dream once.
I guess my deja vu manifests itself typically it feels more like omnipotence. Oddly enough, because I feel it from a first-person view. Like, I've experienced this before. And it can be entire settings. It can be the way someone's sitting, what they're wearing, what they're saying, just the whole situation. And it'll usually be, like, certain situations, but it'll just be so uncanny. Like, the timing will be down. Like, almost like omnipotence. Like,
that wouldn't be omnipotence. Omnipotence is... all-powerful.
All-powerful. So is it omnipresence?
Omnipresence would be you can
all-knowing.
See everything. All-seeing.
All-seeing. So, yeah, it's almost like that, where I know what's going to happen. It's weird.
But if you only know it from a first-person perspective, that's not omni.
Oh, I guess not, no. But I know what you're going to say. It's weird. It's been a while. I haven't experienced deja vu in a while, which is also kind of weird.
Describe it in this way.
Yeah, I've had to describe it in this way, and it's weird because usually I have to describe it as I'm experiencing it.
Yeah.
And it's usually easier that way because it's like, hey, watch, so and so is going to walk through that door here in 3, 2, 1, door opens. Shit like that.
Usually, it's happening too fast for me to do that.
Oh,
like that's how quick it is.
Oh, now mine will extend like over conversations.
And I have this other thing where I still remember instances of deja vu I had as a kid in the same way, where they were like premonition dreams.
Yeah.
Like the one that always sticks with me is like I was in the front seat of my mom's car, my brother was in the back seat, and he's holding Pokemon cards, and he flips from a Shelder to a holographic Gyarados, and as he's doing that, a car comes screeching into the ditch. We're in a Shipley's Donuts drive-through, and like into the ditch, and it hits a fucking fire hydrant. I had to have been like 7, 8, because Pokemon's out. Pokemon cards are a thing. So, and it was one of those things. It all happened so quick, and then it was right back to, oh, that's it. That's the only thing you remember from that dream. But there it happened, and now you realize that you saw it in a dream.
I've never known if it was a dream or not for me. Sometimes, yeah, I'm sure it's a dream, but sometimes it's just like, no, this has happened. Like, we've had this conversation type shit. And no one else is like, no, I've never, like, this just happened. I don't know how we've had this conversation. I'm talking about something I just saw 2 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Type shit. And it's like, okay, well, this is weird. So, deja vu, for me, it's freaking freaky.
Yours is classic deja vu. That's what deja vu is.
Yeah.
Is I've lived this moment before. Mine is I've called it deja vu because I never had another name for it. Mine is more of like needless premonitive dreams. Like I have needless premonition dreams. Or like they're not even premonitions because it's not telling me something. It's like I dream about times in the future.
It's just like glimpses.
Yeah.
So like glimpses into the future.
And I don't even think it's glimpses into the future. I think that that dream state is a non-time state, and I just my dream self navigates it really well and always has. So I'll like slip in between time and be like, "Oh, here I'm in actual time," and then I'll slip back out and be like, "Oh no,
oops,
I woke up." I was asleep. That was a dream. And then I'll get to the time I had slipped to in dream state and be like, oh, I've been here before.
This has happened. This is more than familiar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
And I'm sure people are going off in the comments and the threads about how I don't know anything about dreams. You can't remember dreams. Dreams don't work like that. You make up everything about it. And every time you talk about a dream, you're replacing and making up new things about it. I don't believe any of that. I mean, I know it's true, but it's not true for me.
I don't know. I have some dreams I pretty vividly remember. But most of those are about my mom.
Yeah.
So they stand out very bright for me because of everything revolved around my mom.
Are these post-death dreams, I suppose?
Yeah, after her passing. Yeah. Like, I've had dreams where she showed back up after her passing. Like, we're just hanging out.
Oh,
and
you
she
told
walks.
me about that. You've told me
I've
about
told you
those
about
ones
those.
where,
yeah.
She's like, I wasn't dead the whole time. And you're like,
what? Yeah.
Have you also had dreams where she is past, but she's coming to see you in your dreams?
Yeah, I've had those.
Where they're more spirit-type dreams?
Yeah. Or I'm dead. I've had one where I'm dead.
Are you actually dead, or is it the way you're perceiving it after dream state? But
I guess, yeah, the way you perceive it is after dream state, because I honestly, personally believe that, like, when I'm gone, I'm gone. No consciousness, like, nothingness. As hard as that is to imagine. Like, absolute nothingness. So, the actual atheist belief of life, or, yeah, I kind of stick to. And I don't want to get into the religious part of it, or any of that. But that's kind of how I see it. So, when I'm gone, I'm gone. Enjoy me while you got me. That's why we got this podcast.
But even if you're like not believing in consciousness as if Josh goes on in an afterlife, doesn't mean that like spirit doesn't live on in continued consciousness. Like you I don't know if you still believe in an all consciousness, but I think you can believe in an all consciousness and still believe that there's nothing after death.
Yeah, I can understand it. I mean, I understand it. I don't prescribe to the life after death theories. Like, I don't know why. It's kind of more of a recent thing that happened, even to where it just clicked, to where it's like it's nothing. There's nothing. Even if there was, I wouldn't remember any of my experiences.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
None of this matters.
Consciousness ends.
Yeah,
my perspectives gained within this consciousness end here.
Mm-hmm. There'll be nothing. It's just which makes the depression worse sometimes for me.
But because I'm a tendril of an all-conscious.
Stop.
Because I'm a giant tendril of an all-conscious that has inhabited a meat form. Like when you pass your piece of consciousness, your mother's now in you. Your mom's passed, so your mother's consciousness lives through you in spirit form, in mind. Like, and sometimes you can say that like all my magic woo bullshit, like, because that's what that is just to like, hey, here's a thing to make you feel a little bit better. But sometimes, and this is growing up bullshit, I realize I'd rather do that than be sad atheist guy or angry atheist guy.
Yeah, I understand.
Because even if like dead, nothing beyond that, like no, but because I have consciousness, things still live through my consciousness, and I can still contact that piece of her consciousness through me because I know her and I've been,
taking comfort from religion and beliefs like that. I think it's fine. I see nothing wrong in that. It's when you get the issues that we see now, usually with manipulating people with this religion or with certain beliefs, that where I just don't even care anymore about any kind of organized religion. That's why my beliefs are pretty much my own as far as that goes, and it's like I'm not trying to impose them on anybody. Sometimes, look, I think this is really stupid. There's a lot of things in a lot of religions I think are really, really stupid, but I stopped fighting that fight a long time ago.
Oh yeah, the militant atheist thing, the new atheist thing. It's part of why I went back to woo, was because I was sick of that and it was boring for me.
Oh, I was doing that back in high school when everybody else was still not understanding what the argument I had was. And now everybody's like, oh, wait, that was an argument. And it's like, no, I'm sorry, I was wrong too. You're wrong. Everybody's kind of wrong.
Everybody's wrong.
Everybody's wrong at the same time. That's why everybody is right.
Yeah.
And then they just look at you like, oh, you're just spouting stupid bullshit. And it's like,
maybe.
And what's the difference between what you're saying? Like, there's
maybe.
No difference.
Just go with maybe. That's a maybe.
That's a maybe.
You're
saying
bullshit.
The same thing. You're really saying the same thing. Yeah, I might be spouting stupid bullshit, but so are you. So what's the difference? Yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I'm not. Yeah.
Robert Anton Wilson. I live in a maybe universe.
Oh man, I need to study more of his stuff. I like that guy.
That's like I said, that's part of why I've gotten back into it, because it's helpful in a way. The more magic, NLP, whatever the fuck chaos bullshit that you want to talk about, like whatever you call it,
right?
Because it's all the same thing to me. That's also a thing. Like it's all the same to me. However you color it, you're doing magic. Christian prayer is a form of magic, as far as I'm concerned. Like
it's the same idea.
It's the exact same idea. You're just not cutting open a goat anymore. You're swearing fealty. And it's all for comfort. It's all to like see. It's all about consciousness and talking to yourself and, like, figuring out what life is.
Yeah. What consciousness is?
Yeah, what consciousness is.
Yeah.
And that question interests me. It always has.
On today's episode of Between the Profound and Profane, shit and melancholy. Have a depressive day.
Well, that's part of what this show's supposed to be.
Right.
We're supposed to be able to be a little bit vulnerable and talk about our depression and somehow spin that into a conversation about, like, consciousness. Mm-hmm. Because why not?
Oh, and then they get deep. They get depressed, and then they get deep.
I always get deep when I'm depressed. That's...
Oh, no. Oh, man. I used to be described. That was a common description for me. It's like, what do you think of that guy? Oh, he's deep.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, he's just always really depressed and thinking about stuff. And I did a good job of getting away from that for a while. But I don't know. It's just sadness. It's the infinite sadness, Chris.
At some point, though, you just accept the infinite sadness.
I have become a Smashing Pumpkins album.
You were always a Smashing Pumpkins album.
Damn it. I have super become a Smashing Pumpkins album. Like, need to get a hold of a Billy and just be like, do you want to re-release that album with my picture on it?
You were always a Smashing Pumpkins album. I was always a Pearl Jam song. We're both just as emotional as each other.
There's so much emotion in those. Like, one is just a little more, I don't know.
One's over in 3 minutes. The other takes 2 full records to get through.
Which one are you talking?
You're a Smashing Pumpkins album. I'm a Pearl Jam song.
Oh, okay. I get you there. All right. Yeah. All right, Jeremy. It'll be all right. Do you used to just randomly break out singing that song?
I don't remember. I might have. I like doing Eddie Vedder voice.
You do like Eddie Vedder
I've always loved doing it.
And it's the perfect Eddie Vedder example of Eddie Vedder verse.
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder verse.
Yeah, Eddie Vedder verse.
Eddie Vedder verse.
Well, that's because you don't want to do what? I can't remember the fucking even flow. Going round like photo burn. Yeah.
Yeah, that one. I forgot about that one. Ooh, I like that song. Not that much anymore, thank you. But, I mean, do you understand any of the words in that song?
But it chases him away.
Yeah. Even flow.
That's all we remember, because the rest of the song is him doing that, but really, really fast, and then I can't.
And then there's a lot of instrumental. Yeah! A little random yes. Even flow. And that's the song. Alright. We just Pearl Jam so hard. That's why our band was the best band in high school. Because no one could Pearl Jam harder than us. And we would have been much more successful if we had a Pearl Jam cover band.
Maybe.
I mean, because we wouldn't have to actually sing. That wouldn't matter. Talent doesn't matter in a Pearl Jam cover band, especially when you're making fun of Pearl Jam. It doesn't matter if we play instruments. We can pretend to play the instruments. They do. I'm sorry, that's mean. They play instruments just fine.
Insulting like 30% of our fan base right now.
I know, right? At least 30% of them used to love Pearl Jam. The other 70 still listen to it.
Yes. Yes. Precisely.
Oh, man. That's all right.
I was going to say I was a Nirvana song, but then I was like, no, I'm not.
No, you're not a Nirvana song. No. Yeah, you're definitely Pearl Jam. Nirvana was not grunge enough. Pearl Jam, they capture the true
poetic grunge.
But you can't understand shit of what I'm saying. Where Nirvana, you could kind of understand Kurt. He's having too much fun with it.
Oh man, think we're running out of time here, though.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have enough space to go on too much longer. So this episode is going to be a little manic.
It's not a little manic. It's actually, I think for once we actually kind of have a through line when it's just the two of us.
We do have a theme on this one. There is a unifying theme. So
what did we learn today, Josh?
It's okay to be depressed all the time. Wait, no. It's okay to have coping mechanisms. Being depressed all the time sucks.
We learned that nothing's funnier than two depressed sets making fun of each other's depression.
Oh man, it's a good that alone. That's coping mechanism. You sad sack.
You're such a mopey piece of shit. Oh god.
You're just a manic piece of shit.
I am. I can feel the swing coming. That's my other problem. I can feel. I've learned how to pinpoint when it's about to happen. The shift change, and I know it's about to happen again. Oh, it's so tiring.
Next week's gonna be fun.
Next week's gonna be fun.
Next week should be fun because hopefully we'll bring the three of us will be reunited.
Yeah.
And it won't be such a heavy episode.
It won't be so heavy. I don't think today was heavy. Today felt really light. Actually, I feel a lot better after doing this episode than I have for the past couple of
week. Yeah, that's good.
We gotta get out of here.
Tell everybody good whatever fucking time it is to you.
Take care of each other.
Adios.
Good night, everybody. For this and other shows quite like it, please check out our website, thebonushours.com. Hey out there all, this is your host and showrunner here at the Bonus Hours, and I'm just here to tell you that next week, May 1st, we'll be going dark for the whole week. Gotta do some spring cleaning, keep some house, get some much needed R&R, but we'll definitely be back the weekend afterwards. So join us May 15th for a brand new episode of Between the Profound and the Profane. Possibly a new show. No promises and no spoilers. And definitely stay tuned throughout the summer as we will be premiering another new show in our summer of growth. So, once again, we'll be going dark the week of May 1st. And when we come back on May 15th, expect some new things. Anyway, enjoy this episode. And enjoy the turnover into summer. Last days of spring are here.